Yeah, hello. Here we are again for some travel notes. Let's go to Sonora in Mexico. Of course, I read all the books. Of course, I imagined roaming about the desert, finding power places, meeting the ally. Mexico. Discussing business, I find out there are possibilities in the state of Sonora. Too good to be true, but it is true. Fact-finding mission, feasibility study, not just words or excuses. Without this work, it is impossible to know whether investing time and money is worth it or not. Next step is to convince management that it is a valuable idea. I succeed, and one day, some 6 months later, I am actually sitting in a plane to Hermosillo, capital of the Mexican federal state of Sonora. June. There is still some green left, and June. There is still some green left, and mornings are very agreeable. Cool with beautiful smells. 2 times 1 day off is what I hope to manage. So here we are on an early Sunday morning, heading down some national highway. The day before, I bought a map to find out what is possible in a day, not wanting to spend all the time in the car, not staying too close to town. Of course, I have no idea where the right place is, but it is not important. Actually, it's a nice challenge to find the place which is meant to be for me on this day, which is relevant and corresponds to my needs. Early morning colors, fresh and clear, crisp light. Some Mexican country music on the radio. Getting further and further away from the city, we are heading east, past the Mammoth Mountain. Well, that's how we baptized it. A vulture warming his wings on a telegraph pole. Well, here we've got the vulture. I know this is not real wilderness. I see that the land is fenced in. There are big ranches. It is not nature left to herself. The road is asphalted and in a very decent condition. But of course, for a European coming from Germany or France, this is endless open dream country. There are very few people. There is a lot of half-wild vegetation. There are vistas and certainly mountains which tell stories not available in Europe. The place we want to go is less interesting than we thought. Luckily, it is still very early, so we head in an opposite direction. Second breakfast in a small town on the road. It gets hotter outside. We carry on looking for some small road, some path away from the main road. Up and down some mountain range. We decide to leave the car and walk when we find a promising track. Entering straight into the magic. Some 50-100 meters from the road and everything is left behind. Wow, that's the first picture there with these sentinel small cacti. Okay, most of it is just imagination, not hallucination, as power plants were not ingested. But who cares why you are scared, awed or elated? It's really enough in the moment. This place. We continue. Climbing down the slope, there are trees. I saw a tree I'd like to visit. Appeared close and clear enough from above. I do not find it. Instead we lose contact. I'm alone and look for her. Do not find her, do not hear her steps. I make it back to the path. How easily I get lost here. Even I'm not really a city animal, here I lack bearings. Unfamiliar terrain. I get the warning and luckily she emerges from behind the trees. We do not venture further from the track. Head back to the car. Despite my slight worries, nothing happened to the car. Well, this is a country where the insurance for the car, when you rent a car, is 3 times what you pay for the actual car. It is where we left it untouched. Driving back a few kilometers, we find a sort of roadside trucker cafe restaurant. No trucks this Sunday afternoon. We are the only clients. The ladies serve us beans, probably some variation of chili con carne. Soccer World Championship on TV. The cold beer is more than welcome. We actually have to get it from a nearby sort of liquor shop. I collected some rocks, bits and pieces from our Bella Vista place. I almost got lost. I put them on the table. The lady notices them immediately. Where did you get these from? She asks. I tell her, yeah, it's a place my father likes. He sends his patients there. He is a healer. She tells us that her father, who lives next door, is quite a well-known healer in the region. Apparently, there are people even as far away as from Spain who seek his help. For some reason I am not attracted and we carry on. It is only in the night that I realize I might have missed a chance and get quite angry with myself. So we carry on to the elephant-shaped mountain we saw in the morning, mid-afternoon now. It is quite hot. We park the car in a village and look for paths. We hit on a small house with a few people gathering around a TV. You might say we are not far away from the middle of nowhere. The men are watching a soccer world championship game live. We find the gate and start walking. Crossing some sort of mixture of meadow, very dry scrubland, we reach a waterless riverbed. It is nice walking in the scent of a river, though very hot, as we are in plain sunlight. We cross and enter some small path into the bushwork. After some time, I realize the mountain is much further away than I thought. I also realize we may get lost here. So we turn back, duly scratched by some thorny branches. Heading into another direction, we rest in the shadow of a very nice big tree on the bank of a small, also dried out river. It is hot, and it's nice to rest. Very quiet. The walk back is tough, as we feel the heat and do not have water with us. When we finally manage to find some coke in the village, we are very happy indeed. Never was a cold drink as good as that one. It takes the stepping back and looking with some wider vision to see what an extraordinary day this was. The occasion is the evening meal safely back in town. It is the quality of the experience and the images which is overwhelming. True, we opened 100%, no protective armor. Let in the sunshine and the powers there are. Risky approach, but the only one when you have just 1 or 2 days. The experiences are in the bones and the flesh, and even on an afternoon in an office far away, and long after they are alive and glowing. 2 days later, coming back from the coast, where I was on business, we cross some half-desert plain surrounded by mountains at about 7 p.m. The sun is low, very few cars. I am relaxed after a swim in the sea. And here we are. Colors, vistas, silence, all this. And the magic and power of the place take us for some moments out of time. We even know this, are aware of this special moment, and share some space not usually accessible, but it is from somewhere nearby and evokes bien very well the spirit. I get another chance. Business obligations are less heavy than thought, so here I am with a second day off. Of course, I try to meet the healer. I know the way, and quite early I am back in the cafe enjoying a cup of coffee. The school bus and his kids, the lorries and the drivers are gone. I asked the lady about her father. No problem, you can meet him. Let's see whether he is already up. It is 8 a.m. We walk over to his very humble house, cross the yard with its chicken and enter the house. The old man is just about to get up, still a bit sleepy and not at his best health. Although I speak Spanish quite well, I understand maybe 10% of what he says. But his daughter is a faithful interpreter. Well, what do I want? It seems he is no Don Juan power sorcerer, but this is not the point. I have the feeling he is real. He is said to be a healer, and that is it. I ask for strength to take the right decision as I cross turbulent waters in my private life. I like his touch, his warm, very firm hands. The hands seem to have only little to do with a rather wasted body. He asks me for an object which he sort of energizes and hands back. I do not stay long, say thank you, leave a bit of money and head once again for the mountains. This time it is different. I'm alone. I'm looking for yet another path, some way to leave the main road. There aren't many. Finally, I see some sort of dried out riverbed, small and leading up to a mountain. I stop and off I go. This time I've got water prepared and mentally as well I am ready. After some time I realize it is possible to climb this mountain, or rather hill. It's not too hot and the brushwork not too dense. It's not a spectacular place, hill or day. It is nature as usual. Still for me it's special. On the top I fabricate a little cross and plant it. A prayer in time and off to another Bella Vista. Which I see from afar. I watched birds, probably vultures, although I'd like to imagine it was an eagle circling a rock not too far away. Once again, this is not wilderness or sorcery. It's just a walk in nature. Well, here we've got the little cross and some rocks. Well, not really rocks to jump off, but rocks which impressed me. Well, the big rock is nice. I imagine how it would be to set off from there just like the birds did. Well, I can't quite make it. Rest glued to the ground. On the way down I find a horseshoe. I could have been more than a casual and uncommitted visitor who passed through. Yes, I left something. It is true. I left something of me. And still, looking back after a year, I saw I was more a taker than a giver, which is a shame, as the chance to open and give from myself was there. Well, another impression of this hill, with this picture, which is for some reason rather not so sharp, or some thing seems to be happening in the center. Not seen when I took it actually. I continue and eat in a small town. More football or soccer on TV. It is nice and relaxing to watch. It is just afternoon. The main square or plaza is empty. A park, benches, the church, the town simpleton who shines shoes. Mine as well. Don Juan is just over there enjoying the shade in his siesta. Well, could be, huh? Yes, it is definitely one of those places. Well, here you got the corresponding picture. Time is slowly running out. Still another 30 kilometers east are possible. Less and less traces of ranches and cattle are visible. I find another place for a short walk before turning back. I know and feel I must not push my luck too far, be too greedy. I visit some outstanding, in every sense of the word, huge cacti. I find rest and shade, it is quite hot now, in yet another dried out small river close to some rocks. Probably all these places became special because I was there. They are special for me because I invested them with the necessary specialness. I even succeeded in taking special photographs. I now see faces and masks which were not visible, at least to me, at the time of my visit. So here's these rocks which seem to have a face and almost like a statue. And the other picture is, well, what I saw when I decided to go down this hill and found the cacti and the rocks of the picture I showed before. I drive back quite fast. I get to Hermosillo intact, the car as well. I say a big and heartful thank you, gracias. What stays is surely the intensiveness, light, color, sights. Everything is more alive, stands out, communicates. It's also a place where the weak disappear immediately. You glide through with your armor firmly fitted, or you shed it and better be careful. Or at least that is how I experienced the encounter. Well, this is a picture of a shop, some kind of curio shop in Hermosillo. And the other one is a beach at the Gulf of California. Sea Cortez, I think it's called. And this is another one from the Sea of Cortez. Same fishing village. And a goodbye cactus. Well, thank you once again.
Puedo la magna, ni no ni. Ay, te me cagaron gatea de que no estoy.